yet another episode of Podcast. Today we're outside Pandrak Auditorium to witness a seminar organized by the Department of Philosophy on the theme Discourse on Neurology and how it affects the human brain. The resource person for today's seminar is Noami Kipen. She graduated from St. Edmund's College, Shillong, and completed her MDiv at Philippines Baptist Theological Seminary, Baguio City, Philippines. She also taught at Hillite Theological Seminary, Thailand, and Hope Institute of Theology, Timor. And currently, she is serving as the Children's Pastor/Superintendent at Ringo Baptist Church, Sorima. The discourse will address: is the human brain hardwired for God? Can the human brain be permanently altered/changed? Is social media redesigning our brain? And many more. We have so many exciting topics to discover, so what are we waiting for? Let us all jump straight right into it.
Learning never exhausts the mind, and the beautiful thing about learning is no one can take it away from you. Good afternoon to each and every one of you present here. I warmly welcome, it is my privilege to warmly welcome each and every one of you pastors and our colleagues. This afternoon, colloquy is being organized by the Department of Philosophy, and Discourse on Neurothelolgoy, how believing God changes our brain. Now let me highlight the sequence of the program. Firstly, we have invocation by Dr. Wajubini and Senton. After that, we have a welcome address by our Chori, Sir Mao Tongbyo, and our resource person, Ms. Mami Kipen. Lastly, the dedication by Sir Bedman Luxon. Now I give time to Dr. Wajubini to invoke God's presence.
Our Heavenly Father, what a joy and a privilege it is to come together in this manner and to explore a little bit, a fraction of what you have in store for us today. Father, I want to thank you so much for our friend, Naomi Kipen, for her time, the youth pastor and her bakers, for making time for us to be here and share wealth of information and knowledge in order that we may have a slight understanding of what goes inside our brain. We use this brain for so many things, and just to understand the functioning of this and move forward in life, being able to utilize it for your glory, Lord Jesus. I pray that the few minutes that we spend together would be a wholesome, educational, and productive time, Father. We commit this time into your loving hands. In Jesus' most blessed name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Wajubini, for the invocation. Now I give time to Sir Mao for the welcome address.
Respected Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, hearty welcome to Discourse on Neurotheology, how belief in God changes our brain. I'm extremely glad to extend a warm welcome to our resource person and his team, youth pastor and team, to this program. We are privileged indeed to have such a knowledgeable person to be the resource person of today's program. She has come here to share his knowledge and experiences with the young people and student community. Thank you very much, Ms. Noami Kipen. With these few words, I once again welcome every one of you to this seminar.
Thank you, Sir Mao, for the welcome address. It is my immense pleasure to introduce our resource person. Her name is Ms. Mami Kipen. Now, I give time to our resource person. Ms. You may come and take the stage.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Department of Philosophy and Ms. Wajubini. Thank you so much for this opportunity. You know, this is something that I have never thought about, and it just happened because philosophy department were being so gracious to me. So I want to thank you, and also thank the Patkai community for giving your time and coming here to be a part of this seminar. 2 weeks ago, I was took some cookies, butter cookies. I really love the flavor of butter, and because I think one of the flavor that I've been loving for a long time is butter. Everybody has a choice. You have a preferences, right? Your own personal preferences, the things that you like. Somebody likes strawberry flavor, somebody likes chocolate flavor. I like butter. So every time, at least once a week, I need to have something that has butter in it. Butter with a rust, or butter croissant, or butter cookies, butter and bread, something like that. But something happened to me 3 months ago. And then 3 months ago, I was COVID positive. Not just COVID positive, but with severe symptoms. And that severe symptoms was on the upper respiratory system. You know, the upper part of the respiratory system was badly infected. And my nose was like completely gone. I could not breathe in, breathe out because it's fully blocked. I can't smell anything, like seriously can't smell anything. Of course the taste was okay to a certain degree. I could taste salt, chili and sugar, but then I can't feel anything anymore. So post-COVID, after 3 months, my smell came back, but I didn't realize it did not completely came back. You know, it's not there yet. Not fully there. And the flavor that I really liked is now something else in my nose. The same butter that I like so much now, it smells something very awful, like pungent smell. And whenever I take the butter cookies, I used to think that the butter went bad, like maybe it's a stale butter or something. And I try, and I'm making an effort trying out different kind of butter. But then it doesn't feel right anymore. So after that, I make sure that I don't eat anything buttered. But then, the irony of my brain is this. For the past 30 plus years, I've been enjoying butter. So this part of my brain still remember the taste of butter. Can even smell it. Like the natural biological nose cannot smell it anymore, but the brain can smell it. That smell of butter, you know. I can still smell it in my brain, in my memory. So, today I ate the cookies. Oh, it's horrible. But then, after 2-3 days, my brain tells me, oh, you're craving for some butter cookies? Yes, and I go, make my coffee, take out my butter cookies, forget the pungent smell, because this pungent smell is a new memory. It's a new episodic memory to me. It's just been few episodes, like 2, 3, 1 week, 2 weeks episodes. But I had thousands and thousands of episodes with the right flavor of butter cookies. So my brain keeps telling me and giving me the memory that the butter still smells good, tastes good. So I go back to the same routine. Coffee, butter cake or butter croissant, and then I take the butter croissant, today I'm going to enjoy it. And then what happens? Right after that, oh, what is this smell? Next time I will have it again. After a week, go back to the butter cookies because my memory is telling me, oh, don't you crave for that butter thing that you like, that flavor? So I didn't take butter for a week. We went to Thailand, went to 7-Eleven, took out the butter croissant. I totally forgot how it tastes in my mind. Because the 30 plus years, the brain which has been compelled and designed and the taste of the butter embedded in my brain still remains there as a very strong memory that the new memory of butter, the awful pungent smell of butter, is not able to overcome the real butter taste in my brain. Though the sensory organs is not responding properly, but still the brain wants to eat the butter which, the smell of the butter which it remembers. But the butter which I really taste now, it tastes like I don't know, rotten socks or something in my mouth. But then I still keep going back to butter cookies. So that's the amazing thing about our brain. Our brain can be hardwired in such a way. Long term of beliefs, practices, lifestyle, the thing that you're addicted to, the thing that you are used to eating it, remains. Those tastes, flavor, those memories of satisfaction, pleasure, feeling accomplished, all those things, if you have done it for a long time, many episodes, many years, it remains in your brain. So this evening, we're going to talk about that part of the brain which gets affected by your belief system, by your practices, by your spiritual values, by your spiritual norms, things that you believe in. I want to share, it's very brief and then you might get confused or anything that you can contact me. There is one thing that I want to share. Like in religion, in your belief, did you experience this? When you first have this experience with God, you are born again on the first day, like you are born again, then you are like full of energy, right? To read the Bible, to pray. You don't get tired to go to church. You don't get tired to read the Bible. And even at night, you can just read the Bible and pray. And going with your friends, you have the energy. You don't song practice or fasting or whatever it is. You are just on the go, isn't it? Yeah, did you experience that? That is because when you have this first encounter with God, there is also something that happens to you. It's called the first stage of love. You know, when a husband and wife they meet, they have these stages of love, and it's so amazing. This is a research done by many neuroscientists, but one of the main research paper I took is from Kayas, is a Korean professor from the top Korean IT institution professor, head of neurology department. He said this: the first time when you are in love with something, and this is what happens when you're in love with God, you have this extreme dopamine secretion, and you're so in love with God that you can pray, cry, like you're in love with a man, a boy or a girl. You can do anything, fight, fly, you can just do anything. That's the feeling that you have for God. And then that is just the beginning stage. But in Christianity, most of the time, we're not taught in this manner that is your first stage and first walk with love. And then you're not going to depend on that dopamine feeling all the time. The more your love mature, there will be different kind of stages in your love relationship with God. So, what happens? Sometimes we young people, we get drawn to this kind of worship, where it will make you feel fire, and then you feel like today I feel so religious because that kind of environment is better. But then, in your long term of Christianity, in your spiritual walk with God, the second stage of love comes. That is the oxytocin stage. And that is the stage where you don't have dopamine abnormal secretion anymore. You are at calm level, quiet state, where things look boring. But then now you are in that level where your frontal lobe is working now. When we are in the dopamine stage, our frontal lobe doesn't work much. It's cognitive things will not think. Decision making will not work. Things will not think. These things will not work. So that's why you don't think about who God is, what God is, His existence. You just, God loves me so much. I love God. God died on the cross. That's the only thing that you're thinking and pondering on. And then you're in love with God. You love Him so much. Then when things go deeper and deeper, that's when you need to go deep Bible study, where it's no more about just loving these things, but habits, lifestyle, those kind of things, teachings come. That's when you become boring. And that's what happens in a marriage also. For example, they did this survey on 20,000 married couples. They are in love so much, then slowly they get married. When they get married, lovey stage. After that, they come a stage where they need to get to know each other more and more. When they get to know each other more and more, there is doubt, clarification, and trust. And when they trust each other more and more, they become quiet and calm and they move on with life. That is when have the oxytocin stage with our God. And that is when we need to know that means we are becoming matured in our relationship with God, and that is when now we are not becoming boring. Now we need to go deeper into the Word. There are sometimes skeptical thoughts, there are sometimes critical thoughts. You need to go deeper and deeper and more understanding. The more you get to know, the more you build trust in the God you worship, God you love. And this is now no more about hallelujah, jumping around and feeling of love, those kind of things. This is a real stage. And then when you come to the vasopressin stage. Vasopressin stage is when time to time you have dopamine for the Lord, hallelujah, prayer and fasting. You jump and sing, but you now know that jumping and singing is not really fully everything about your relationship with God. It is just part of your relationship with God. You will realize that. And then when you will see, oh, there are times that I want to have a recreational life with God. That means you jump, sing, dance, whatever you want to do with God. And then you do this revival, reformation time with Him. But you also know that I need to know my God deeper. So you go into deep study, habits, lifestyle. You train yourself, you forge yourself to build those habits so that your marriage, your relationship with God will not be jeopardized. And that's when your relationship, when your spiritual maturity is that level, you have complete trust in God, complete trust in His preaching, that no external environment, whether those dramatic things, dramatic worship service or not, that does not affect you anymore. The only thing that affects you is now you know whether somebody is preaching the Word of God in a right biblical way or not. And then you discern for yourself how to discern that word. That's when you are matured in your relationship with God. People are not reading books anymore. They are not going into real details and things. They are just Googling, and what is this? Neurotheology? Short notes, brief notes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You know only that, but you don't know the thousands and thousands pages. I read more than 3,000 pages on neurotheology. And then someone will come and say, neurotheology, I know neurotheology. And then Google, web, internet, this much, Wikipedia, short, and they will talk about neurotheology without knowing what it is really is. That is the danger of our generation. Your brain, white matter, is decreasing and decreasing because of the screen time. And one of the examples, I'm not bragging about myself, but I just want to share. This is my friend, she is a psychiatrist in Faith Hospital. She told me this. She accepted this fiancé. Why? Because this fiancé is a neurosurgeon who does not indulge in social media and internet. And she said that why? That means his brain and mind have more space to accommodate me in his life. Because according to our psychiatrist department and what we have studied, if you indulge in social media and internet and too much screen time, part of the brain which is in relational and behavior is fully occupied by the internet, that you lack in your relationship with people. Even if you feel we're doing great, we are not really doing great. That's what she said. So she has an Instagram page, and she said that she makes sure that she uses it only once in a month. Sometimes once in a month, once in 2 months. And she's a psychiatrist. And this is what I'm telling you, my friends and my students. I make sure that when I wake up, I never touch my phone. And people hate me so much because I didn't check my phone. But look at what we're doing. When you are not indulging in the wrong lifestyle, people feel disappointed at you because you did not check their message on time. I will check it when my mind is fine after my quiet time and prayer and after I do it. The moment you wake up, we touch our phone. What do we feel our mind? We get addicted to information and reels. What happens to reels? You know what social media do? Social media is designed by behavioral scientists. These behavioral scientists are the ones who study your behavior part called amygdala. How the amygdala is being ignited. The green light in WhatsApp, red color na message. That red color is called danger. It signifies danger. When we see something red, we know it's danger. That part of the brain is being ignited in such a way. So they use that red color coding to use it in notification marking. So when you see red, you can't wait. You feel alert, alarm. is happening to your brain? Our brain is being redesigned by social media, by those behavioral scientists who is studying your behavior and our behavior in such a way to control us with those apps and internet and social media. I'm not asking you to become like a hermit, that you don't get updated. But then we should know when we are being too much. And there is a time, especially at this stage of your life, your frontal lobe is still developing. And I encourage you to not indulge too much on internet and your phone and your screen time. Your cognitive ability should grow and develop till 25 years. Instead, it is becoming degrading. It's degrading. It's losing its white matter. That's why they have this research. These days, young people, handwriting is so bad. Why? Because they type more, that the sensory part of this thumb is active, but the connection with these fingers to the brain, which is involved in muscle, senses, and cognitive ability, is not working together. That's why they have bad handwritings. And it is very true. I work with 35 teenagers in my church. Every Sunday, I will ask them to write something. Their handwriting is like, I don't know. They don't know how to spell many spellings. I am amazed. It's like class 5 or 4 students trying to write something. I think worse than 4 or 5 class. And I don't know whether it is you or also some similar to them. I don't know. I haven't checked your paper. But then, if your handwriting is also like that, then you need to check yourself. See, today I wrote all my writing like this. I have a laptop, everything. But I'm trying to make sure that my brain works by letting my hand write. Because sometimes you get so used to your laptop and you feel to how to even move your pen up and down. Okay? So this is what is happening to our brain, and maybe in future we can discuss more on other things. There's so many things I have, but we don't have much time. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
So right now we're here with our resource person, Ms. Noam. Hi, Miss.
Hello.
So what are some of the key points you want to highlight from this seminar for the students that didn't attend the seminar?
Okay, those who are not here, I'm sure they have questions about what neurotheology is. So let me just give a brief note on what neurotheology is. Neurotheology is the interdisciplinary study of the brain in relation to spiritual experiences and spiritual practices. For example, neurotheology is not a science like most of the science background will have this research on saying that religion or the idea of God is a disorder, and that sometimes this is a stereotypical understanding that science will try to do away with religion because science claim to be on facts and factual evidences. But then science can also have an hypothesis. Science can also have an hypothesis on which they can work on, try to find results on evidences depending on that hypothesis. And for example, on neurotheology, neurotheology is a science which does not do away with religion, but they are like two-way streets where you let religion and neurobiology come together. That is neurobiology as science coming together and having a time to exchange information. Religion will tell neuroscience that this is what happens to us, what we believe when we practice prayer, when we practice meditation, and neuroscience will try to have this brain scan on the biological part of the brain. Oh, does anything happen on the brain? Can we see the feelings or the emotions or the spiritual, doing their spiritual practices or whatever they claim, the religion claim to be, that does it happen only in one part of the brain or different parts of the brain? And depending on those different areas, does it affect their moral behavior, their cognitive ability, their thinking, their actions? So that is the study of neurotheology.
Thank you so much for your time, Miss.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Wishing you luck for all your future endeavors.
Okay, thank you.
Hope this video was informative, and for more videos like this, please do like, share and subscribe to our channel, Patkai Bus. Until then.